Howdy, folks. It's Donald Ward McCarthy here with 311 Realty Group, bringing you your GTA or your Greater Toronto Area update for real estate in July of 2021. I hope you're all enjoying your summers. Of course, now that we can get out and be a bit more social, we're definitely seeing the impacts of that in our market. As always, below me here, if you're watching it on YouTube, are a link with these charts so you can download them and go through them in a bit more detail. As I just I fly through them and give my little kind of overview as to where we possibly are going in the real estate market in general. So anyways, here you go. Market Watch was released there a couple of days ago, August 5th, with July's numbers. And as you can see here, year over year, sales were down, supply was down. Now, year over year, our price was up almost 13% year over year. But I'm going to, in a second, look at, I think what we should be looking at more importantly now are month to month figures as opposed to year over year, because comparing this year to the unique, extraordinary year we had last year, I don't think gives the full picture or allows us to kind of determine possibly where we're entering in our market. So anyways, you can read this. They talk about how our demand pool is decreasing, possibly because of the fact that our intermigration is not occurring, and our population growth is pretty much stagnated. And because of that, all the people who did want to buy, those people who were in that pool, they've more than likely bought in the last year. So that pool is decreasing. So let's actually look at that a bit more closely. And now these charts as well too for download below me. And if you were to type into Google, just type in Toronto housing market charts, it'll bring up these charts for you. So the first page in this this PDF is sales. Now this is a determinant of really our demand. Okay, we're talking about demand here quite a bit. So let's go into this. So as you can see here, let's actually start with supply. Apologies. Let's look at new listings. So, historically, supply has been the problem. But as you can see here, this year, February and March, our supply was not the problem, nor in April. Still extremely strong in May compared to last year. So if our supply determinant was not the issue here, what was the issue in terms of sales this year, which went a bit crazy at the start of the year? Well, it was sales or demand. As you can see, demand basically outstripped that. Even though the supply increased, our demand was just through the roof and it outstripped that. And in prices, what happened then up until May? Here we go. Average resale home. I believe this is the fourth page in the chart. So average resale home prices. So you can see here, came into the year, price increase, another great price increase in February and March, another very strong price increase. So then in April, and we kind of saw this kind of coming in the pipeline. What if demand started to decrease, right? What would happen if our supply remained high? And we expected supply to remain higher than it did. Let's go back to supply. Here we go. We expected this to remain high, and demand we expected to decrease. So we thought we were going to see a more adverse impact on our prices. But I think what's happened is actually our supplies decreased, despite the fact that we're all double vax now and we can move around and we can move forward with the plans we have in terms of housing. I think people are just happy to get out there. They're putting things on hold, enjoying family time, and then our supply decreased dramatically, as did our demand, as we can see here. And in fact, if we look at our demand from June to July, I calculated here, it's down 15%. Our supply from June to July is down 22%. Okay, and the impact of that on our prices. So here we go. So those to determine supply and demand over the last couple of months have been decreasing, keeping our prices kind of at that, keeping a level, let's say, because supply and demand have both decreased or deflated with the same pretty much amount on a monthly basis. So our prices have kind of held their own. Actually, last month our prices decreased by 2.5%. Now, the big question is going moving forward. In a nutshell, in September, October, or fall market, we do expect supply to go up again, as it does in a typical year. Supply will go up again as people get back and kind of get back kids back to school and they start moving forward some of the housing plan. Supply will increase. If our demand remains low, that's going to obviously have an impact on our prices. So we are actually foretelling that if that does occur, supply goes up again in September, October, November, our demand pool remains low due to lack of population increase, and our buyer pool having been dwindled and a lot of people having transacted in the last 12 months, we could see our prices come down. And if that does occur, our days on market will increase, our market will become more balanced, and there will be fantastic opportunities for buyers. So I leave you on that note. If you are considering either upsizing, downsizing, getting to the market for the first time, or possibly buying an investment property, there could be fantastic opportunities for you in the next 6 months. So do reach out to us. Okay.